Welcome to 2025. It is big energy, but you may have noticed since 2020 that each year the energy does get more intense. It increases more and more. And we're having to address and deal with all this energy coming towards us. This new energy that's coming is really intense. It's high frequencies, higher energy levels. So it's making us step up in so many different ways. It's shifting, it's stretching our energetic bodies and making us deal with parts of ourselves that we think we've done with. We've healed, we've looked at, we've let go of it. But what we have to remember is with these higher frequencies that are being pushed onto us, it's expanding us. And as we expand and lift, because it's like an awakening each time, it lets go of the older, lower, denser shadow parts of ourselves, the old imprints in our energetic field, our energetic bodies. And what it'll do is it'll bring that up to the forefront for us to address. And there's different ways for us to address it. If we haven't cleared it, then it's time to do some of that shadow work, that inner child work. If we have cleared it and it's more letting go of the imprint only, then it's just allowing the physical body to release these feelings, these old trapped emotions, because they're just imprints. And what this new energy that's pushing into us is doing is scrambling those old imprints, making them come up to the surface so they can just drift off us. But it is uncomfortable. It is disconcerting. It can make you feel irritable, frustrated. And sometimes old triggers will come up and they're not really for you to address. It's just for you to breathe through. So sometimes what's happening with this new energies, you've got to remember the higher frequencies are coming through from the sun's solar flares. They're off the Richter scale. The Schumann resonance is what measures the solar flares that are hitting the earth. And these are light codes, light frequencies, because we are all energetically made up of these light frequencies. And as we expand, as we grow energetically, we have to let go of those lower shadow energies. It's not good or bad, it just is. And that's part of being here in the 21st century, the age of Aquarius, where we get to experience and have these openings, huge openings into the fifth dimension. And that's the expansion. And what we're having is that little bit of tug of war between the third dimension of what's right, what we've been told is wrong, how we should be feeling, how we should think, all these old conditioning imprints. And that's that little tug of war that I'm talking about, because the fifth dimension is all about freedom, manifesting, creating through thought. Not the thinking mind, the critical mind, but pure thought. No rules, no right or wrongs. There's no step one, step two, step three. It's aligning your feelings with your thoughts of what you're wanting consciously. So for some of us, including myself, that's happened in the last part of 2024, all the way up until now. It's still continuing because we do have the change of Chinese horoscope of moving from Year of the Dragon into Year of the Snake, end of this month. And we'll all be feeling it. But for me personally, I felt incredibly lethargic. I feel, I just feel this wave of tiredness all the time. And on New Year's Eve, I felt so nauseous, so I had stomach cramps and so unwell that I chose to go to bed. I think I heard the first lot of fireworks, children's fireworks at the family ones at 9 p.m. Didn't even hear the midnight fireworks because I was out cold. But it can feel like you've lost your way. It can feel like you've lost your sense of direction, you've lost your sense of purpose. All of this is an instantaneous shifting within us. These new frequencies that are being pushed onto us, these solar flares that are hitting us, they're changing our timelines. So, what used to fulfill you before isn't fulfilling you now. And you're like, I wanted that. Why is it? I don't know what I want anymore. It's because you're shifting timelines. You're changing who you are, and you're actually witnessing this. But if we're always looking at it from the point of view of how we're feeling and thinking, it is very 3D, third dimensional. But if you can imagine just stepping back out and observing how your body feels, observing the thoughts that are coming into your mind, you're moving into the fourth and then the fifth dimension of thinking, not thinking, of being, I should say. You can observe your energetic field, your energetic body as it shifts before your very eyes through that you're observing from. We are not our thoughts. We are not our feelings. And that's why we step into that observation mind. That's where we can let go and detach instead of running with our emotions. Oh, I feel so heavy. I feel so tired. Observe the body feeling tired. Give yourself permission to rest, to sleep if you need to sleep, to pause and not know direction, not know your purpose, instead of thinking, I have to find my purpose. Because that is the critical mind. That is the old way of thinking, the ego mind, the third dimensional way of thinking, that you need to know what to do next all the time. In these periods of where I just don't know anymore, that is the space where we are expanding and growing. Give yourself permission to experience this. It's okay to feel lost. It's okay not to know what your purpose is. I mean, for those of us that see others that have their purpose, because this is a projection of what we're seeing, we're not seeing the lulls in their growth, their evolution of who they are, and how our purpose changes as we shift, as we expand. So, what you're going through physically is an awakening, is a constant expansion. And it's heavy on the physical body. Remember, the physical body is in the third dimension. So it takes a little bit of grunt, strain to expand. And if you can imagine that you're sitting on your shoulder, observing your thoughts, observing the body, observing the feelings and sensations, you're not letting the energetic heaviness that you're letting go of, the shadow parts of ourselves, weigh you down. You're not getting caught up and blocked in that old way of thinking. You've got to remember the body is letting go of these old concepts. They're just old imprints. And how they're stored in the body through feelings, old emotions. How do we release it? We have to scramble them. And to scramble them simply means that we have to feel them, not relive it. That's the difference between being immersed in the heaviness or observing the heaviness. If we're immersed in that heaviness, we're actually reliving it, that old imprint, which we might have called a trigger, a trauma, a painful experience or memory. When we observe it, sit on our shoulder, so to speak, and allow ourselves, watch ourselves experience it, we release it. We let those threads, those cordings just dissipate. And that's what's happening right now. So if you're not in that get up and go mode, it's okay. It is coming. You're still in that shift, that expansion. And during that expansion, you are changing your timeline. You are not the same person as you were last week. You're changing before your very eyes. What might have triggered you in the past, got you so worked up, so frustrated, you're now, let them. It's not my problem. I don't care. I'm over it. You are witnessing yourself letting go of those old imprints. That is a tangible proof of a shift in your consciousness, a shift in your being to your very core. You've moved through the acceptance, which is the 4D, into the fifth dimension of It doesn't matter. And you can say it doesn't matter with a smile. So, what I want to do now is I just want to ground you. Give yourself that moment to pause because what's happening now, we just need to pause. We just need to give ourselves that moment to be in the present moment, come back to our body and ground. And if you need to do this multiple times a day, I'm encouraging you to do that because your pausing, your grounding is your anchor through this change. And this change is going to keep coming. So if you're waiting for a break, you have to give yourself the break. You have to pause in the moment within you. And if you need some hypno meditations, you can go to my site. I'll place a link in it here. And you can get a month of healing. And there's 2 hypno meditations there to really help you align and adjust into these new frequencies. Give yourself a break. So just close your eyes now as I begin just to gently bring through some soft light codes to ground you and to give you that breath, because that breath, that deep is coming back into your body, back into the moment, and just accepting who you are right now. Kira kururia shatakare, tarare ina nanakari ina. Pukururia shatakari ire, takarara ikinya, pukuru ananakare ire. Tarara nina, tarara ikire kuru ananakare. Puru ikia takare ina nanana. Takare ikire ururia, shatare ikinya manataare ire. Arataare ikinya. Kururiana nakare, are ikire uno no nakare ire, and just breathe all the way down, down, down to your navel, and release. And just keep bringing your breath all the way down, 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 and release. The more you can softly deepen your breath, the more you're bringing yourself into that beautiful, soft pause. Coming back into your body, and gently connecting, beautiful. You may feel a soft expansion in your heart space as we're doing this. Kuruikira ananakare, tarare ira pukuru ananakire, aruru rarapakanya, arere ikire unanakire, ararakia tukuru. Ururiashatakare. Just breathe. Then we're going to gently ground you and connect you to the earth's core. Tirare kire pokuru ananakire ikare itiri nananakare ire. All those feelings of overwhelm, feelings of loss, being directional, not having any direction, tiredness, nausea, stomach cramps. We're just gently filtering that into the earth's core. Tarare ikira ananakare, kururi ashatakare ikira ananana, tikire ikira ukuru ananakire ira paranana. Tarare ikire inananakare, tururara pukuru arare ikire in tare inananakare ikia. Tare inananakire, ukuru arapatara nanamana ire. Tikire are. Tukuru ananakare ikia. And just breathe gently into the navel. Keep that beautiful breath, soft, deep. As we release into the earth's core. So all that energy that's surging from the sun into our energetic birth bodies, all that excess energy, we can connect into the earth's field, grounding us. Kururiana nakari kire, itare kire pukuruana nakinya, tarare ira, pukuruana nanana ki ire ukuria shatakare, ira ra 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 ra. And just breathe and allow this energy, these light codes, light frequency to gently, gently align you, ground you, and just finding your own center, finding that soft, soft pause. Toru ananana kireia. Toru ananana karekinya. It's that breath of release that we're aiming for. Ururu ananakira tiki. And if you like this sort of healing, you may like to join my soul sessions. Or you can purchase an individual soul session, a month of healing, to help you through this transition as you're expanding. Get that extra bit of support as you're realigning. Kururiana nakire, kururiana nakia. So instead of looking for when this is going to stop, when we're going to have this break, I just want it to stop. Find your pause in moments to support yourself as you are shifting before your very eyes. Kira kuruaya shatikinya nanakire. And enjoy.